must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
The Linda Mama program is a program that arose due to the rising maternal mortality rates, the number of women who are dying in the process of delivery. And because of that situation, in 2013, His Excellency the President instructed that we should provide a free maternity. In 2016, the program was rebranded into Linda Mama, and the money was shifted to National Health Insurance Fund, and the aim now was to ensure that the women that did not have insurance cover were now being able to access the maternal care in the facilities, and the money is being reimbursed to the facilities where they attended for the services.
Over the years, we have seen increased numbers of patients. In the year 2017, we treated under this program about 4,500. In the year 2019, we treated about 5,500. And the year 2019, we treated close to 7,000 patients.
In 2013, we just had about 300,000 women going to the hospitals, actually 314,000 women. But as of last year, 2019, 1.3 million women have actually delivered in hospitals. And so you can see that since Linda Mama started, which is a free maternity initiative, the number of women giving birth in hospitals has gone up 3 times.
We have a few challenges as far as this program is concerned. Because of the increased numbers of patients, we have a bit of a shortage of staff, supplies, commodities, non-pharmaceuticals, and sometimes some drugs.
The challenges of limitations of equipment, of health workers is a problem that is prevalent across the health sector. And this is why His Excellency the President has earmarked universal health coverage as one of his big 4 agendas. The national government will also support the counties to increase the number of the amount of commodities that are available in the facilities. So there will be more medicines, there will be more non-pharmaceutical items that are required.
We also have available ambulances. Mothers that who develop complications can be rushed to this facility at any time of the day. And we have doctors, gynecologists, medical officers who are in the hospital on a 24-hour basis, and they are ready to provide their services, especially to those mothers who require emergency cesarean sections, the ones also who are going delivery. The Beyond Zero mobile clinic on a day-to-day basis, it goes especially to those remote areas of our county where the mothers sometimes may not be able to come to the antenatal or prenatal clinics regularly.
We also must recognize the efforts of the Beyond Zero program under Her Excellency the First Lady. Some of these successes we see are also out of the complementary role that Beyond Zero has played in assuring better maternal care.
On first visit to the hospital, they are registered in the antenatal clinic. But let us say there is a mother who has never received any information about Linda Mama and has just come. That mother is also registered in maternity. And when Linda Mama started, we started experiencing a number more than 100 clients per day. So at the same time, Linda Mama being incorporated with NHIF, we have seen that now that this mother who is coming to for ANC happens to be paid by the NHIF, the first visit 1,000 shillings. That one means a plus to the facility according to the finance.
Since Linda Mama began, the government has provided up to 14 billion shillings in total cumulatively since the 2013 to date. And every year there is an average allocation of about 4.2 billion.
Mtoto wangu wa kwanza nilipata 29 na ilikuwa operation. Nilikuja sikuwa nadhani kama nitafanyia operation. Nikaambiwa mtu yeyote alienda dieta anatoa 5k za dieta. Sikuwa na pesa. Nilikaa hospitali for 4 months. Mbele yangu ilikuja 20,940. Linda Mama imenisaidia yenye nilikuja kliniki siku ya kwanza. Niliambiwa ni apply, nika-apply. Nikaenda kwa vipimo, nikaambiwa imenilipia vipimo zote. Na nikikuja kliniki kila siku nisiwe naacha ID na hiyo kandi ya Linda Mama. Ile siku nilienda kliniki kwa miezi 5. Hakuna kitu nililipa.
Tunaona Linda Mama inatufanya vizuri kwa sababu wakati huo mwingine mbeleni tulikuwa tunajilipia si mwenyewe. Na hizo pesa tulikuwa tunalipa zilikuwa mingi sana. Si ati kidogo. Na sasa tunaona tukienda kliniki ni bure. Tukikuja huku maternity ni bure. Sasa wakina mama wanafurahi sana kwa sababu ya hiyo nini ya kulipiwa na Linda Mama. Kwa sababu hiyo ni fishi ya kulipia watoto shule. Na sasa nimesaa. Si unaona hiyo fishi naenda kupeleka shule. Mtoto hatabunguzwa ama nikule si nitakuwa vizuri. Ama ninunulie watoto nguo na utakuwa mzuri.
2013 ilikuwa ile wakati our president alitangaza akasema ni free maternity, ndio nilikuwa najifungua. So nilisaidiwa na free maternity. Tunafurahishwa na Linda Mama. Mara yangu ya kwanza kusikia mama Linda Mama nilienda clinic Kimbembe Hospital, wakani introduce about Linda Mama. Wakaniambia niregister na itaweza kunisaidia kwa kujifungua kwangu na kwa kliniki zangu zote. Ni ukweli imenisaidia kwa kliniki zangu zote na hadi hapa saa hii najua nasimamiwa na Linda Mama. Itanisaidia kuangalia mtoto wangu na pia mimi mwenyewe.
Nimekuwa nikitumia Linda Mama wakati wote wa clinic. Nikajifungua mtoto wangu wa kwanza October 27. Bili yote ikaketa. Kwa hivyo mimi kwa upande wangu naweza sema Linda Mama imekuwa na manufaa mingi sana kwa wamama na watoto wao, wamama wajawazito na watoto wao, kwa sababu mtoto pia akiwa mgonjwa inaketa for the bill yote, mtu halipi chochote. Nilikuwa nimekuja kwa sababu ya mtoto wangu apate sindano ya wiki 10 na tumeweza kusaidika pia.
The other key indicators that have improved for us is the issue of vaccination of children. When more women go and deliver in hospitals, you're almost assured that the child is immediately able to access the initial vaccinations that they require. So that has had a very positive impact in ensuring that the child health is improved, reducing the number of stunted growth in children because of that postnatal care that is immediately offered to the children when they are born.
We have noticed an influx of mothers since the introduction of the free maternity Linda Mama, and our patients have been taken care of well after that, and they're actually coming, they deliver and they're paying nothing. We are having more mothers delivering in a hospital unlike before, so this has led to an improvement in terms of survival for the babies who are getting born because they...
Viewers, good morning. This morning I want to address the issue of Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. The legacy of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya keeps on moving, keeps on going forward and forward. Since the handshake in 2018 that brought about the peace, the tranquility, the unity of purpose, President Uhuru's star has been rising. All over Africa, people are thinking of using the model that Kenya used to stop any form of violence, chaos on the streets after elections. As you know, all of you are aware that elections in Africa produce two things: after or before or after the voting. Disputed elections, winner takes it all, loser doesn't accept the results. But the Kenyan model takes us miles and miles away from the normal type of democracy. The democracy, a negotiated format, a consensus format. A democracy that gives consensus a chance. A democracy that talks about the future of a country, the unity of a country, as opposed to a fragmented country, polarized country, where most African countries find themselves in. We have seen in the last 10 years or so, most of the elections in Africa have been contested by the opposition. Very few people in Africa, countries in Africa, where opposition has conceded defeat and come up to congratulate the winner. We have seen the South African model has worked very well. The Ghanaian model has worked so well. I don't see any other country in Africa where the models have worked well. I thought it would be Sierra Leone, but today we see Sierra Leone going back to the same ethnic tensions, as you can see from the reports that are circulating in the international media and the local media. So elections in Africa are contentious issues. They create a contentious position, create a departing point for the people of Africa, of that particular nation. The legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta, therefore, will be remembered for having brought the tranquility that we have today, the peace, the new format, the new tool of having a better organized civil Africa, an Africa without violence, an Africa without chaos after elections, when the opposition accepts to work for the interests of a nation, not personal interests. This has worked in Kenya, and thank you very much, Your Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, for the tenacity and the steadfastness that you have guided this handshake up to today. For those who want to mutilate the handshake, belittle the handshake, one lesson they should learn is to look at Libya. Libya was once a territory we all respected. It is no more. Let's keep the handshake and the legacy of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us for another show, Current Affairs, except now we're just looking at the current affairs or the latest news making stories here in headlines in Kenya. And there's a particular story that I said I shall be coming back later today to cover, and that was in all our front pages in all the leading newspapers here in Kenya, and that is the handing over of Nairobi City to the national government. Of course, the governor of Nairobi, Mike Sonko, as we speak right now, is facing some graft charges in the High Court of Nairobi. And so it has been... there has been some what appears to be like a leadership vacuum in terms of the top organs in this county, and because Mr. Mike Sonko, as he is known, his vice resigned a couple of years ago, and he's not been in a hurry to appoint another vice governor. So this has put the county, or him, with loggerheads, I think, with authorities. And then the manner in which he was handling the county's business perhaps was not perceived to be the right way. So yesterday, in an unprecedented move, Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko surrendered key county functions to the national government in the wake of corruption charges facing him. Sonko, who is out on bond, is barred by the court from setting foot in the office until his case is heard and determined, even though he has been making changes to his cabinet, among other executive orders. Now, he is also staring at an impeachment after a motion to send him home was tabled in the county assembly sometimes last week, and State House issued a statement yesterday that really shocked Kenyans, saying that Sonko had signed off to surrender health, transport, public works and planning to the national government, which I think are things that functions that are very important in regards to this county. Now, the Kenya Revenue Authority, on the other hand, is set to take over the revenue collection in Nairobi once an agreement signed Tuesday to surrender key county functions back to the national government takes effect on March 25th. So this signing that happened yesterday in State House that was witnessed by Devolution CS Mr. Eugene Wamalwa, President Uhuru himself, and I think Attorney General were there to witness this handing over of Nairobi to the national government. But this signing or this agreement will take effect on March 25th, which is perhaps a month's time. And according to a special Gazette notice detailing how the transfer was executed, KRA will be the principal revenue collector in the capital city, taking charge of parking fees, business licenses, land lease fees, and buildings approval charges. All right, that's a huge turnaround there. And notice which makes public the deed of transfer signed by Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko and Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa there, as I mentioned, were the ones present to witness this. now states that the agreement, which was signed in State House Nairobi and witnessed by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka, gives the national government, sorry, did I say earlier the AG? No, it was the Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka gives the national government the responsibility of collecting and remitting all revenues accruing from the transferred functions. Now, it will come into effect in 21 days from the day of execution. The landmark agreement, which was made public by State House spokesperson Akanze Dena Mararo, will see a national government take over the operations relating to county health services, county transport services, county public works, utilities and auxiliary services, and county government planning and development, respectively. And now a Nairobi resident has rushed to court as we speak to challenge yesterday's shock decision by Governor Mike Sonko to transfer key functions to the national government. So a Nairobi resident by the name of Robin Karani, Mr. Robin Karani, has said, no, you cannot do this. And so he's gone to court to challenge this and the legality of the whole process. And so the petitioner claims the move has denied Nairobi residents a reasonable opportunity to state their case on the matter. He therefore wants the High Court to stop implementation of the deal entered into yesterday. I remember in the BBI report, one of the suggestions that was put in the BBI was to Nairobi City, which is Nairobi County, was to be left to the national government, and it was supposed to have a special docket that would be handling, like Nairobi Metropolitan, to be handling Nairobi matters. And so basically Nairobi was in the the BBI be voted through the referendum and agreed upon by Kenyans, and then Nairobi was to cease, I think, having a governor, and its functions were to be handled by the national government through a special ministry that was to be put in place to handle this. So this appears to have had gone further even before the BBI report has come to effect and even completed and be adopted as the amendments adopted. And so now Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has until next Tuesday, of course, as I mentioned there, he's facing a series of charges there, and he has until next Tuesday to defend himself against accusations leveled against him in an impeachment motion tabled by Makongeni Ward Representative Peter Imotok. He's facing impeachment process in the Nairobi County, and he's also facing some corruption charges in the Kenyan court. So this is an embattled Nairobi governor, and so Nairobi has not been having a leadership for quite some time now. Remember, even the High Court barred him from accessing his office, and so there has been a leadership vacuum at the helm of this county. So Nairobi Speaker Beatrice Elachi yesterday asked the governor to submit written replies to allegations raised in the motion, and the Speaker directed the county clerk to ensure that the governor submits written replies to allegations raised in the motion. And of course, what also happened, the grounds for impeachment outlined in the motion include gross violations. So these are the things that were brought forward that they say is tantamount to Sonko breaking the law and so being impeached as the governor for Nairobi. And also not just that, he's also facing other corruption charges. I think 32 counts was for Aitito, but other corruption charges in the Kenyan court. And so one of the things that the MCAs had brought forward, the ones who had tabled this motion, was that Sonko had gross violated the Constitution and the Public Finance Act 2012, inability to control and manage public debt and clear pending expenses, and exhibiting incompetence and inability to offer leadership. That is very interesting. And also unwillingness, failing to name a deputy governor with an ulterior motive of holding the county at ransoms. I think the deputy governor, this has been an issue because after the one that he was elected with together, I think resigned, is it a year after being together or thereabout, Mr. Sonko has been a lone ranger. He decided to, act by himself as the governor without a deputy governor, which is should be there by the according to the provision of our constitution. There's supposed to be a deputy governor. So since then, he's never really bothered to pick a deputy governor, and his people have expressed their concern. The leadership of this country has expressed its concern because of what Nairobi is and what Nairobi means to this country. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, so it's very, very important and very strategic. And so the leadership of Nairobi then must have a very sober mind and a very level-headed mind, if you say, that can take care of the affairs of Nairobi, because Nairobi is a very, very important city and a place in this country. It is the core of this country's economy. So we need, if it's a governor, somebody who really understands how vital this place is. And Mr. Mike Sonko, as you see, some of the things that the MCAs had put as part of the impeachment, the reasons as to why. Exhibiting incompetence and inability to offer leadership. I don't know how to explain some of these things, but we've seen areas in which Mr. Mike Sonko sometimes might not have been seen act as if in the level that befits the position of a governor. We've seen he's a very flamboyant person, by the way, which is not a problem. But I think at times you would wonder, does he really understand? Does he really understand what being a governor of a city like Nairobi really entails? And he was a member of parliament before that, and then he was a senator. And we remember when he was a senator working under former Governor Evans Kidero, who only served for one term, and Sonko, who was his senator then, replaced him after the last elections. Sonko was always very quick to criticize his predecessor if something was not working very well. He could be the one, if something happens, say in anywhere in this city, he'll be the first to go there. If it's a building that was built illegally being demolished, he'll be the first to get there if something was happening. So he was always quick to show up at places that will paint his predecessors the wrong way. And sometimes we would wonder, he is the senator of Nairobi, so him and the governor and the woman rep and others, they are the top. The Senate, the governor, assistant deputy governor, and him and the woman rep in Nairobi, they're the top leadership, of this county. And so people always wondered, why is it when there's a problem, why can't he just go to his governor so that they're able to solve this matter for the sake of the people of Nairobi? But Sonko was always quick to show up, and he has this team called Sonko Rescue, who he formed to help especially the underprivileged people take water. So when he was a senator, we could see all his water, I think, tankers taking water to residents of Nairobi who do not have water. And he said when he is elected as a governor, the first thing he will do is to really get rid of these cartels who have taken over the water, the Nairobi Water and Sewer Company and other areas and other vital amenities that Nairobi County is supposed to be offering to its residents that sometimes are interfered with the activities of cartels. So he swore once he gets into office, he'll get rid of that. And since he came into office after he was elected now as the Nairobi governor, we've not seen much change. But here, when you go to the interiors of Eastlands there, which I might add is where a huge, is his biggest voting bloc from the Eastlands and other, especially underprivileged areas here in Nairobi, really voted for Mr. Mike Sonko, because sometimes what he says and how he says it resonates with these people who feel that, he's speaking our language, he's fighting for us, he's going to bring the change that we want. Perhaps the water, there are estates in this city that gets water once a week. And so if you don't have the big tanks to reservoirs to store your water, and then that is a problem. So, and then the water the taps are dry in it's a few estates here in Nairobi. The taps are dry, and then you see people in the states, they're coming in and selling you water, and you wonder, where are they getting this water from? So this is part of the cartel that Mr. Sonko was supposed to get rid of, and he has failed to do that. I don't think the water problem has been solved. He has failed to do that. I remember when there's a time he came online and he said, I'm looking for cartels who have taken over the water sector in Nairobi, and if you know any, he put a bounty, you can forward their name. I don't know, these people, ghost cartels, so what? So he couldn't put a finger on any of them, but Mr. Sonko just realized quickly that being at the helm of Nairobi County is not an easy task after all, and so perhaps now he must have developed a new respect for his predecessor, Mr. Evans Kidero, who was the first governor of Nairobi under our new constitution. And of course, Mr. Kidero himself, the predecessor of Sonko, is also facing nearly similar charges in the Kenyan court, corruption and other corrupt-related matters and embezzlement when he was at the helm of this city. Very unfortunate, and especially for the people of Nairobi who were hoping that at least some of the things could be, the inroads inside the estates will be fixed, the water problem will be fixed, the insecurity will be fixed, the street lights, the problems, and perhaps the slums that have bedeviled, and we have the biggest slum, I think, in sub-Saharan Africa, the Kibra slums. It's not something to be proud of. So that there's a time the previous government, and I think President Mwai Kibaki was working on a slum upgrade program, and I think they built some houses initially there that was supposed to be like a mock and see how that will work, and then upgrade the rest of the slum. I hear even the people who were supposed to benefit from those houses, I don't know, they were given and then they rented them out to other people. I don't know what happened. I hear also when they're used to that slum life, they don't want to move out. And I was shocked to learn that there are a lot of rich people living in those slums, especially in Kibra. So it's not all poor people, but of course majority are people from very underprivileged backgrounds. And so we were hoping that through a proper governance here in Nairobi, perhaps the slum upgrade will start again, and a rebuilding or building of houses that will be affordable, that will ensure that the people in this county and indeed this country live in dignity despite of their financial background. And of course, that is one of the key pillars of President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda, affordable housing, except the affordable housing that are being built, the people from Kibra might not afford it, and that is the reality. But it will go a long way in decongesting or just making sure that people who can at least not afford the most expensive houses in those leafy suburbs could still own homes and could still live a decent lives in a rather subsidized rate here in the city. And so Sonko has not had it very easy after he became the governor, and I think problem started, disagreements, and of course the party, I don't know, not touring the line of the party also, that I don't know, must have costed him anything. But anyway, Sonko right now, as we speak, is facing a few charges. So yesterday, the landmark agreement, which was made public by State House spokesperson Kazi Dena, as I said earlier there, said that the national government will take over the operations relating to county health government. I don't know if this will make a difference, but okay, that we'll see about that. And then county transport services. All right, I think especially the public transport industry here in Nairobi has been chaotic, and there's only one minister during his reign that was able to restore some sanity in the public transportation in this country, and that is the late Michuki. He died. Let me tell you, Michuki, and then from transport he was taken to environment. And everywhere he went, he left his mark, and he ensured that he made very drastic changes that Kenyans later on began to appreciate. So I don't know, the problem with Africans, or the problem with our country here, we sometimes appreciate good leadership when it's no longer there. Michuki now is long dead. He died a couple of years ago. It is now that you're saying, you know what, perhaps that person would have made a very good president. because when Michuki was given the Ministry of Transport, before he became the minister, the public transport industry was chaotic as it can be. You think Lagos, Nigeria have a problem with the Okadas and the others that the state of Lagos has banned there. Here it was terrible. And so when Michuki came, he made sure that all public vehicles must have seat belts and also speed governors and other essential things, which you would think would be normal in a normal country. But here a few things are led to pass which are very dangerous. But Mr. Michuki ensured and insisted that these laws must be followed, and so he brought some sanity in the public transport industry. So I don't know what. By now, the national government taking over the county transport services, how will this change, and how will the people of Nairobi benefit from this change? And also the county public works, and utilities and auxiliary services and county government planning and development respectively. And also something very drastic there when I was reading this earlier is that now the KRA will be responsible for taking for collecting the taxes here in Nairobi, for taking charge of the parking fees, business licenses, land lease fees, building approval charges. Okay, I don't know how this is going to change Nairobi, county, because these are very sensitive offices that are forever been marred, especially with corruption. So I don't know if by the national government taking over the running of these very important services in this city might change, and perhaps the city dwellers here might start enjoying quality services. This is let's just see how this will work out by these very important services returned back to the national government and being manned by the national government. Let's see if Nairobians will see a difference. And also the parking fees, which Mr. Sonko, I might add, had really increased in a bid to discourage people to be coming with their cars in the CBD unnecessarily. Kenyans own cars. I don't know from where. Sometimes I wonder, why do they say we are a third world economy? Kenyans, the cars in this city is a lot. So you find that somebody will leave with a car in the morning, the husband, the wife, the child, all going towards the same direction. You all have different cars. Why don't we just take one? We all get on one and then just find your way for the rest of the day through the city. And so the increase in the parking fee was meant to discourage people from entering the CBD with their cars. You could park them just in the outskirts and just walk into the CBD, or just find your way through a public service. So still, that hasn't stopped Kenyans. I tell you, if you're not in town by 8 in the morning to find a parking, you will not find a parking at all, regardless of the high, the high rates of parking fees right now. So this is what, just quoting from what the office of the Speaker of Nairobi, Madam Beatrice Elachi, said that asked the governor that he has until next Tuesday to serve to serve the Nairobi Assembly with written replies to allegations raised in the motion. And as I think I read through these motions, these things that Sonko is facing the charges that are tantamount to him wanting to be impeached there as a Nairobi governor, and that is one of them: clear inability to control and manage public debt, and clear pending expenses, exhibiting incompetence and inability to offer leadership. On that one, to offer leadership in the Nairobi County, on that one, things have been very interesting for us here in Nairobi, and willingly failing to name a deputy governor with an ulterior motive of holding the county at ransom. All right. And so those are some of the charges against him. So he has been given until Tuesday to submit a written replies to allegations raised in the motions, the allegations that I just mentioned. And the Speaker also directed the county clerk to ensure his response is served to all members of the county assembly. Now, consequently, that is part of what Elachi said. I direct the office of the clerk to serve the governor with a notice of motion, and also the grounds for impeachment outlined in the motion include gross violation of the Constitution, which already I have said, and the Public Finance Act 2012, and all of that. And also the impending debate on the impeachment comes at a time Nairobi Governor has signed a surrender health, transport, public works, and planning functions to the national government, and that happened yesterday. And this is what Kanze Dena, the State House spokeswoman or spokesperson, tweeted, and she said, gave in a statement, she said, in a landmark agreement signed at State House today, that was yesterday, Tuesday, Governor Mike Sonko and Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa, in concurrence with His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, signed an agreement handing over functions of the county, of the Nairobi County governments to the national government pursuant of Article 187 of the Constitution. State House spokesperson said that. So, according to Article 87 of the Kenyan Constitution, and under the Article 181 of the Constitution, a governor can be removed from office. Now, this is according to that impeachment that is ongoing there for Mike Sonko, who has been told to, respond to these allegations and through a written submission there. So under Article 181 of the Constitution, a governor can be removed from office over gross violations of the Constitution or any other law where there are serious reasons to believe that the county governor has committed a crime under national or international law, abuse of office, gross misconduct, and physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of office of county governor. Now, some 65 MCAs signed up to impeach Governor Sonko before the motion was tabled in the Assembly on Thursday last week. And if impeachment of the county assembly, Sonko will have a chance to argue his case. If impeached, if he gets impeached at the county assembly, then he will get a chance to argue his case at the Senate. A similar exercise, of course, saw the former governor of Kiambu, Ferdinand Waititu, exit office just like that. And just like Waititu, Sonko is battling a multi-billion shilling corruption case in court there in Nairobi. So after that information and after that meeting at State House yesterday, there was a lot of response, a mixed reaction to that on social media, and we saw Abdinasir Abdullahi, renowned lawyer here, and this is what he tweeted. He said, Did Governor Sonko had the benefit of a legal counsel? Did Governor Sonko had the benefit of a legal counsel in surrendering county government number 47, that is Nairobi, to the central government under Article 187. Now that he has abdicated formally, when will the people of Nairobi elect a governor of their choice? And then another, a tweet by Senator Mutula Kilonzo. He came out and said the county government of Nairobi is as good as dissolved. And then somebody under that quote, his name is Jim Kich Langati, said dissolved is an understatement. Nairobi County has rested in peace. He's saying Nairobi County is dead. So you can see, and you can see the different. So Elachi now says Uhuru rescued Nairobi from landing into deeper crisis than it is at the moment. So that is the Nairobi County Speaker Beatrice Elachi. There seems to be really approving this move yesterday, saying that President Uhuru Kenyatta has rescued Nairobi County, and also President Uhuru Kenyatta has given Northeastern leaders 14 days. These are just some other news coming in right now as we speak. President Uhuru Kenyatta has given Northeastern leaders 14 days to come up with an amicable solution to security challenges in the region that has affected various activities, including education. And we saw just on that earlier, a court had stopped TSC from transferring non-local teachers from Garissa, Mandera, and Wajir. How are you going? Well, that is something that perhaps the teachers will contest in court, because you cannot insist for me to work at a place where my life is in danger. I'd rather not work at all. And so now we see President Uhuru Kenyatta is taking this matter very seriously, and he's giving these leaders 14 days to come up with an amicable solution. Otherwise, we might just send our army over there to just see what's really happening in the northeastern part of the country. And of course, today, Egyptian former President Hosni Mubarak, he's been given a military funeral there. I think it's happening today at his family, I think, burial place. And also Mutua speaks after Senate takeover key functions from Sonko. And Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua has said the embattled Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko orchestrated his downfall for failing to appoint a deputy governor. Mutua said the move by State House to take over key functions of Nairobi County does not threaten devolution. So you can see their leaders who are in support by the signing over and the handing over of Nairobi to the national government, and the others who, as we saw, there are some Kenyans who are now saying the county government of Nairobi is as good as dead, and the other one said is not as good as dead. It has been dissolved, and the other one said no, it has not been dissolved, it is just dead. And so this is a story that is developing, and we shall keep you up to date about what really is happening there from Nairobi. And so that is what made headlines indeed across all the major newspapers here in Nairobi today, all the front pages, and beginning of the end of Wild Sonko era. And the story is on page 2 of the Daily Nation. And I'll just read a bit of it. And when Governor Mike Sonko took up the reins at City Hall in August 2017, he did so with the braggadocio, promising to fix the capital city. That he did, and I'm a witness. But as months turned into years, it was clear that rather than fixing the capital city, he was instead putting it in a fix. Alrighty. Now, it started with a falling out with his deputy, Mr. Polycarp Igathe. Then Mr. Polycarp Igathe, and then it went on to wanton suspensions and sackings of employees, followed by runaway corruption and fights with everyone who dared oppose him. Mr. Sonko presented himself as City Hall's alpha and omega, adopting unorthodox ways of leadership. Now, the result, service delivery suffered from revenue collection, fell modes of garbage continued to deface the city, and matatu madness and congestion in the central business district continued. The capital that controls about 24% of Kenya's gross domestic product was literally staring at a full-blown crisis after years of running in autopilot mode. Although the warning was on the wall for the besieged governor from the time he lost control of the county government earlier last year, he didn't see it coming. Yesterday, however, President Kenyatta obliged by having the national government take over the running of Nairobi amid uncertainty at City Hall. And in what State House termed as one-of-a-kind landmark pact, Governor Sonko handed over key functions of the county government to the national government pursuant on Article 187 of the Constitution. Now, the functions include county health services, transport services, county public services, utilities, auxiliary services, as well as county government planning and development. This will ensure that Nairobi residents receive services efficiently. The move comes as a breakthrough in the running of county services that had ground to a halt, said a statement from the State House spokesperson Kanzi Dena Mararo. Now, Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa chaired the meeting in concurrence with the President, Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka, and Attorney General Paul Kihara witnessed the signing of the agreement. However, there are potential headwinds ahead, with the move splitting political players on what was to follow for city leadership. Now, former chairman of the committee of experts that crafted the 2010 constitution, Mr. Nzamba Gitonga, said that while it was not barred by the constitution to transfer, would raise serious concerns. There would be questions about the manner in which it was done, especially the lack of public participation, or at the very least, the constitution of the assembly, Mr. Gitonga said. Now, he also continued to say that if the devolution minister is going to take over, for example, will he be directing county workers? He said, even then, the senior counsel said the measure could only be temporary. And he says that also, I appreciate the situation in Nairobi now with the governor barred from accessing his office in county with no deputy. Something needed to be done because impeachment seemed to have been heading to its own roadblocks, Mr. Gitonga said, in reference to the fact that there would have been no deputy to take over in that event. So Senate Minority Whip Mutula Kilonzo Jr. said the county was as good as dissolved. And I think I read a part of that tweet yesterday. So besieged Nairobi County Governor there, handing over the functions, the key functions of this county to the national government. This is a developing story, and we shall keep you up to date with what is happening there. It was in all the leading newspapers in Kenya this morning, and it is something that continues to make headlines as we speak. It is a developing story, and Kenyans are still shocked. I don't think we expected that, but that is what is happening, and so let's see how that will work out for this. And also some breaking news here. I see a tweet by Kipchumba Murkomen, the Senate Majority Leader there. He says, at today, 3:30 p.m., I shall be moving a motion to discuss the matter of moving Nairobi County functions to Nairobi government. So that is Murkomen. He tweeted. So he said at 3:30 p.m. So I think the Senate is already in process of discussing that matter. It appears he is not very happy there with that move from yesterday. And also just today, what I've just received now, today the ODM party submitted its proposals on BBI to the BBI steering committee to the KICC. The party proposes, among other things, the creation of a Prime Minister's position to be a leader of government business in Parliament, a 7-year tax holiday for the youth. That sounds just about right. And a 35% allocation of funds to counties, etc. But 35%, or what is... All right, and also a tweet there. I see that by Nairobi Governor Sonko himself. He tweeted, "Nairobi will never be the same again. From today, I shall work around the clock to guarantee efficient and timely services for all our residents." That is what he tweeted after, I think, becoming the governor of Nairobi or something. And also, is it yesterday here we were reading... this guy from Jambo Pay, I think, was saying that his life is under threat from a Nairobi governor, or embattled Nairobi governor, who is now facing impeachment, Mr. Mike Sonko. He is a besieged man, and as we have seen there, trouble started when his deputy resigned, and he has since refused to appoint a new deputy, and instead he's been thumping his nose to the law and to the government itself. I don't know if you can compete with the government and win, but Nairobians have been put at a limbo. They want to see service delivery improve. They want to see some of the things they elected the leaders to do actually happen. And so with Sonko having been barred from even accessing his office, and with no deputy governor, things have not been running very smoothly in this county, because if you're a governor, but when you have a deputy governor, there are services that are vital services can continue even as you continue to sort out your the other things that that you have with the law, and then after that, if you're cleared, you come back. But at this point, he's facing some very serious charges, and then he refused to appoint his governor. For years now, Nairobi has been operating at an autopilot, as I have read there on the Daily Nations. I want to thank you so much, and hopefully you can meet here tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning Africa, and then Diaspora Dispatches, where we get to talk about the latest news from Africa. And as I mentioned there earlier, Mr. Hosni Mubarak has been given a military burial there today. He died yesterday at the age of 91. Led Egypt for 30 years, and he became a president after the assassination of Anwar Sadat there. And he was ousted. No, he resigned in 2011 after 18 good days of protest against his leadership during the Arab Spring that saw a lot of countries in the Arab region there getting into turmoil. Others have never come out of it, aka Libya. We've seen Syria. We've seen countries that have not come out of that Arab Spring, and that and the situations has only worsened. So thank you so much. So tomorrow we shall have the latest on that, among other stories that I have already seen making headlines across the world, across Africa, and we shall have that conversation. For now, thank you so much for your time. So I hope to see you here. My name is Miriam Mugutu. Good afternoon.
Mambo ya maendeleo, ikiwa hatuwezi tukashikana pamoja sisi watatu, resources zile ziko Makueni na Machakos na Kitui haziwezi kusaidia watu wetu. Na ndivyo tumesema mara kwa mara tutakuwa tukifanya kazi pamoja. Kwa sababu tukifanya kazi pamoja, watu wetu watafaidika sana. Kila mmoja wetu afanye kazi, wanawake, vijana, na kila mmoja wetu atakuwa ndani ya hii kukutana sisi watatu tukifanya pamoja. Tukiwa pamoja kama counties tatu, manufaa itakuwa kubwa kwa watu wetu. Ndio tumesema siku ya leo tunakutana ili tuanze kuleta watu wetu pamoja, tukipanga hii mkutano wajue kila mmoja ako na nafasi, ili waseme hii ni yetu, sisiwe ya governors only.
Fighting for BBI is not a party affair. It is a leader's affair. It is not a Wiper, it is not a Maendeleo chap, it is not a NARC, it is not a Muungano affair. It is us coming together as a people. Tunashirikiana pamoja ndio BBI iweze kupita. Mimi sijasema eti namfuata mtu fulani ama mtu fulani ananifuata. Mimi nimesema ya kwamba nataka kufanya kazi ni viongozi wote Ukambani ndio tuweze kufanya kazi pamoja kuweze kuwaletea watu wetu manufaa. Mimi nimemuuliza Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka, nikamwambia mimi nitaomba kiti cha urais, mimi natarajia ataweza kuniunga mkono. Yeye amesema anaitisha kiti cha urais, anauliza pia tumuunge mkono. Profesa Kibwana pia anaitisha kiti tuunge mkono. Na nikasema, kama nilisema kwa mazishi, nikasema kwamba tutaamua ikifikia pale mkondo wa mwisho, tuamue ni yupi ambaye anaweza pigiwa kura Kenya nzima awe rais. Ni nani atayetuwakilisha kama pamoja tuwe rais? Ama na tukiwa kama upande wetu Ukambani, tukaonelea ni vizuri kama vile profesa amesema, tuangazie macho yetu ya kile tunachokitaka. Kama ni BBI, sisi BBI itatupatia nini? Haswa katika hali ya uchumi. Kwa sababu umaskini ndio umetuletea shida, matengamano hayo tunaona, mvutano, ni kwa sababu ya umaskini. Tutanufaika kivipi, tutapata manufaa yapi kutokana na BBI? Ndio tuweze kuishi pamoja. Kwa hivyo kama vile tumesema tunafuatana, mimi nimetangaza nikasema tunaweza fanya kazi tukiwa tumeshikana. Kama sisi SEKEB tuko tayari kusukuma mambo ya BBI, sisi viongozi wote Ukambani tunapaswa kuonyesha ya kwamba tunaweza fuata mfumo wa kupigania kitu kimoja bila siasa za kando za mchezo, ndio tuweze kuleta BBI.
Sisi tulizungumza pia na tukasema tunafurahi sana kwa sababu katika region yetu licha Kenya nzima, lakini katika region yetu kila mtu ana support BBI. Na hapo ni mahali pazuri pa kukutania katika swala la katiba. Na hilo ni jambo tunafurahia kwa sababu hatujasikia wahusika wakuu wowote wakisema kwamba hawataki BBI, na tukaona kwamba hilo ni jambo nzuri na ni jambo la kuwekwa nguvu zaidi. Katika hiyo BBI, kwa kweli ikiwa uongozi utakuwa watu zaidi ya wawili wanashiriki, hilo ni jambo la kusaidia nchi yetu, kwa sababu kutakuwa hakuna watu wawili ama kutoka sehemu mbili tu wanaweza kuwa ndio wanashika uongozi peke yao, na hilo tukaona kwamba ni jambo nzuri. Pili, kwa sababu pesa zile zinakuja mashinani zitakuwa sasa ni kama mara 2 ama 3 kutoka 15% hadi 35 to 45%. Pesa hizo zikija katika ugatuzi itamaanisha kwamba watu wengi sasa watajua utamu wa ugatuzi sawa, na hilo ni jambo peke yake linaweza kufanya mtu apigie kura BBI, mtu ile anajua ugatuzi unafanya nini katika nchi yetu. Tatu, ili jambo la kuleta watu pamoja, hilo ni jambo la maana sana katika nchi, kwa sababu hakuna nchi inaweza kukua bila watu kuwa ni watu wamoja. Na zaidi zile pesa zinakuja katika hiyo BBI za 45% also kwa counties, ni jambo la maana sana. Tunaendelea na kusisitiza percentage fulani hiwe ni kwa vijana wale wako chini ya miaka 35, wafanye kazi zao za biashara za nini, na wao pia wajihisi ni wa Kenya. Hilo ni jambo la maana sana katika hiyo BBI, na bila kushirikia vijana, kwa kweli BBI itakuwa ni kama ya umoja wa Kenya, ya ugatuzi na ya vijana. Hao mambo yakizingatiwa, itakuwa kwa kweli ni kubadilisha katiba, kusaidia wa Kenya.
Na kutakuja watu ambao wataanza kuwadanganya watu wetu kuhusu BBI, waanze kuwapotosha. Hao ni watu ambao hawataki watu wetu wapate manufaa. Hatuwezi sema Kenya ilivyo hivi sasa iko sawa kabisa, na hali akina mama wetu hawana maji, vijana hawana kazi, barabara ni mashimo. Kuna shida katika eneo letu. Mtu yeyote atakayekuja aseme hatutaki BBI ya kulete mabadiliko, ya kulete uchumi na kuinua hali ya maisha, huyo mtu ni adui. Hatutakii mazuri.
Sisi counties 3 za Ukambani kama Wakenya wengine tumesema tuna support kabisa BBI, na ni kwa sababu hiyo ndio italeta Wakenya pamoja. Tukiangalia, na mimi nimeangalia sana kifungu ya 6 na 7, nasema hiyo inasema juu ya inclusivity, kila Mkenya awe included in the leadership, in the decision making, in what happens in our day-to-day lives, and therefore that one we are supporting totally. Na ile ingine, na pia hiyo ni ya kuongeza, mnajua kina mama wameachwa nje sana where decisions are being made, and we truly this time saying that we cannot continue in the 21st century see women sitting outside there and looking at what is happening inside offices through the windows. We want women inside where decisions are being made. So the top that is going to be expanded, and we support the expansion of the top layer of presidency, deputy presidents, and the prime ministers must be open more for women. We were actually talking about having the 3 top go to women. But it will be negotiated. But certainly we are pushing for that.